do this one thing every day, right? To supersize and grow your business. Do this today. What are we going to do? What are we talking about? Of course, we switched gears yesterday and we're discussing mental health and well-being all this month and how it helps us to grow and build and scale and supersize and whatever you want to call it, your business. Because guess what? That's the business you care the most about. My businesses are the ones I care the most about. I care about the people's businesses that I help, but I also care about what I'm doing and what I'm creating in the world and the impact I'm creating in the world. So today we're going to talk about this one thing that I actually caught myself demonstrating today. We are going to learn how to eliminate mental clutter. We're going to learn how to do something called brain dumping. Have you ever dumped your brain? I used to do it all the time in corporate America. I had a running to-do list that I kept on my computer, and every time I thought of something I wanted to work on, I wanted to do, or a project or a subject I wanted to explore further, I wrote it on that list. Why? Because our brains are not designed for storage. I mean, our subconscious is, but then we have to have a retrieval system. But our conscious mind, when we need the calculating, processing, thinking part of our brain, it's designed just for that, for thinking, problem solving, etc., for asking questions, for observing, and then putting everything in our subconscious. So we have this incredible database of information to make decisions and choices off of. But if we have too much in our conscious mind, if we have too many stimulus, if we've got too much stuff coming in, if we've got too many things to do that we haven't written down and captured for fear of losing them, we're not able to think. We can't set priorities. We can't think reasonably or rationally. We tend to be more emotional. We tend to make decisions that are not necessarily in our long-term best interests, all because we didn't take a second and write down on a piece of paper, any scrap of paper, the things that are taking up our mental energy and time. So that's what we're going to do today. I challenge you to either get a piece of paper out, get your phone out and type it into your phone if that works for you. Find some way of capturing, talk into a recorder and let AI or something transcribe it for you. There are so many ways nowadays to get things out of our head and onto paper so that we don't have to ever be afraid of losing them, but that it will free up our thinking capacity and our ability to make decisions, to make the choices, to lead people, to become a better version of ourselves, to be a good role model, all the things that we're here to learn how to do. Our brain dump clears all of that mental processing capability and allows us to make better decisions, make decisions at all. I contend that if you're out to dinner with a group of friends or a group of colleagues and nobody can decide where to go to eat or what kind of food to even eat, it's because there's way too much going on in our conscious minds. We've been overstimulated and we can't make a simple decision like, what do we feel like eating for dinner? Excuse me. A little more coffee. So I'll tell you how I use this today. I was getting ready to do my videos this morning and Facebook Live is not working for recording live videos. So I'm recording on my phone. It only took me, 45 minutes to come to that decision. Why? Because my short-term memory in my brain was tied up with all kinds of other things I was thinking about, worried about doing, because I've got a system down for doing my daily videos on Facebook Live, and that includes this annual challenge, the Supersize You annual challenge, and then my What's You Up To Now segment where I just document my journey. And so I'm thinking about the things I have to do differently because Facebook's not going to work. And chances are by this afternoon, Facebook will be operating again, Facebook Live. They're obviously testing some things, which I don't like because I've been on there for 9 years doing my recording and obviously gotten really good at it after doing it for 9 years. But other things were tying up my short-term memory, right? Things like a list of stuff I've been meaning to pick up and buy, and I just haven't gotten a chance to order it and do it. So instead of letting that tie up my short-term memory this morning to problem solve, I wrote the things down. I wrote the things down that have been on my list for a while. I call it my out list. And usually I just have an out list hanging on my refrigerator, an out list hanging by my desk or on my desk, so that as soon as I think of something, I just write it down. Why? Because that little piece of information ties up a segment of my short-term conscious processing capability, and I don't really want to tie that up. I want to have the ability to think for myself, and discern and decide, make sure things are in alignment with my priorities, make the best possible choice for me and my business at any given time, and that requires some processing capability. So how do we go about doing that? I think I already shared that. All we do is we grab some kind of a writing utensil and a writing medium. Heck, I have been known to write things on paper towels and toilet paper before, just so that I can get it out of my head but not lose it and not forget it. But think today, do a little self-reflecting on this after you do this exercise, of course. First thing, as soon as you get off this video, just grab a piece of paper and write down anything that's taking up your mind. Doubt, worries, fears, problems that need to be solved, priorities, gratitude. I usually have a page of each of those labeled so that I can sort the things as they're popping out of my head. A lot of things are, I want to acknowledge something I'm grateful for by sending a thank you note or a thank you card, or just a text, or picking up the phone and calling somebody. And if I don't write it down, I don't know about you, but I think all of us are so busy nowadays, and there's so many things vying for our attention. If we don't write things down, we lose them. And then we spend a bunch of our time and energy trying to remember what the heck they were. I will also admit that the older we get, that happens to us more and more frequently, which just increases the necessity of writing stuff down. It's a lesson I learned from my dad as a little girl. He always told my sisters and I, and my mom too, if it's important, write it down. If it's something you need to think about, write it down. Goals, dang it, they got to be written. He didn't pound, but he definitely repeated that one enough in his lifetime, that every single one of us in the family are people that write down our goals. So ask yourself, how much time and energy do I waste trying to capture something that I forgot? You know, you wake up in the morning, you have an awesome idea for a promotion or something, for a problem to solve for your customers, and then you start going about your morning routine, assuming you have one, and you totally forget about it. It's why I keep a binder and a notebook by my bed. So as soon as I think of something, I write it down, because I don't want to capture those things. I may not ever act upon them. They might not fit with what I'm doing in my life, but there's a kernel of something in there that it came to my mind, and I'm supposed to pay attention to it. At least that's what I believe. So ask yourself some questions today about brain dumping after you do this. I would love you to share in the comments below. How do you feel after you do this? And I know, touchy-feely, not necessarily a business thing, but it absolutely positively is, because guess what? Every single one of us that own and operate our own businesses have feelings and thoughts and beliefs, and that's what we're diving deep into this month. If I can help you in any way with this, hit me up and ask. Obviously, I practice what I preach, and I encourage you to do the same. I think one of the best things we can do in our businesses and in our lives is to lead by example and be a great role model. If you need help with this, just ask. If you want more and easy access to the annual challenge, so you can go back if you're just joining me now and start at the beginning, I am storing all of this year's lessons and videos on my school community. We've got a freemium model, and if you ask me, I will let you into the annual challenge for free, and you can have access to that. You just have to put Supersize in the comments below and then access, because otherwise it's a $497 product on the school platform, on my school platform in my community. And if you want the link to that community, ask about that too and join while it's free. I am in the process of launching that community. I set a date of May 15th and adding a high ticket cohort to it, because I think it's imperative that some of us come together, mastermind, and work together to grow and scale our businesses even faster. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.